Right now, with everything going on with Andrew Tate, we wanted to know if he had to liquidate his car collection with all the fancy, crazy cars, how much would it be worth?
So we ran the numbers. We got a spreadsheet here with all of Andrew Tate's cars and what we think he bought them at versus what the market value is right now. We took a look at different websites like DuPont Registry, Cars and Bids, Bring a Trailer, and tried to get what people are getting for these types of cars in the current market with the decline that we're seeing in used cars lately. Could be a loss, could be a gain, depending on some of these. So we're going to take a look, see how much he lost or gained.
And then we're going to factor in the Tate tax. Tate tax.
Got to factor in the Tate tax.
We'll tell you what the Tate tax is later.
First car, starting off with a banger.
Banger.
We got a 1979 Lotta 1500. We're thinking he paid about $3,500 for this car right now.
He paid $3,500. That's the car you start with. Well, honestly though, car kind of goes hard. Like that's the type of car I would pull up in.
Yeah, it's kind of raw. Not gonna lie.
Like I'm gonna be honest. If Tate pulled up in this, I'd be like respect because it's like wacky.
So we're thinking about $3,500 in regular market value when he might have bought it. I don't know if he had it restored, if he bought it restored, but we'll say $3,500. They're everywhere. Right now, recent sold we've seen is about $7,500. So close to doubling his money on that one. Okay. And, off to a strong start.
It's a pretty good win, $7,500.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport.
Is this the infamous what color is your Bugatti car?
I think so, yeah. $4,258,000 retail. We just saw one sell at auction.
Are you fucking telling me they spent $4 million on a car?
Yep, yeah.
There are cars worth $4 million. I'm so glad you did the spreadsheet for me. Yeah. That makes no sense. That's like you could buy an island.
You could buy several.
You could buy a town.
Yeah.
You could buy me for $4 million. No. With everything's going on, no. He might.
So Bugatti, $4.2 million on retail. We just saw one sell at auction for $3.8 million. So that's going to be a hefty loss if you were to sell that Bugatti right now. It's going to be a loss of $458,000. Definitely bringing down the average after the Lotta. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the Aston Martins, plural. Got a DBS Superleggera and a Vanquish S Ultimate. The DBS Superleggera starts out at about $316,000. Absolutely ridiculous. Bringing the Aston Martin total over $500,000 is going to be the Vanquish S Ultimate, which starts at about $265,000. So overall, over $500,000 in Aston Martins. And as of right now, the latest data that we could find on those type of models is looking like $256,000 for the Superleggera and $163,000 for the Vanquish. So overall, about $162,000 loss between the two of them, with the DBS Superleggera losing about $60,000 and the Vanquish losing about $100,000. Next is the Bentley GT Continental. It's a little bit hard to find details on recently sold. That car is actually the reason why we started to move over to DuPont Registry. In our tax bracket, we're not typically looking at cars on DuPont. So
I'm looking at the first car he bought.
yeah. Bentley GT Continental. Overall, I think these go for about $200,000 starting. Like any other super luxury car, you can option that out all the way to $300,000-$400,000, I'm sure. Most recent sold that we saw for a late model Continental GT was about $191,000. So overall, not a huge loss there compared to some of these other cars. $11,000 total. So
for Tate, that's a dinner. He says it in his video. Like, he spends $10K on a dinner. So
yeah. Moving down the list, we have a BMW M5 from
loser.
Somewhere around 100. From what I've seen, this looks more like it was 130 to start with. So 130. We've seen BMW M5s go for 48 on the used market, but they can go up to 80, 90 depending on
I think he's taking the hit on this one. I think he's taking the hit.
Yeah. I agree.
Especially if he's liquidating, right? If our process is he's liquidating cars, he's selling that for 48.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I think that's fair. I think it's fair. And typically modified cars aren't going to recoup the value of the modifications. I know it gets a little bit hairy sometimes, specific tuners and things like that.
I don't even know what a tuner is. First I thought he said tune up, which is food.
Yeah. Yeah, so overall, we're gonna have him take the hit on this one. We're gonna say that's about an $82,000 loss.
Picking a dweeb car, an M5. I'm gonna get destroyed in the comments.
M5, yeah.
I'm gonna get murdered.
But since we made him take the hit on the M5, we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on the X6M. Arguably the worst looking BMW.
It's so ugly.
Everything that's wrong with the U.S. car market is this car. It's a giant SUV. It's
like
fast for no reason. Like just give us hatchbacks. We want
hatchbacks.
Even so, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one since we really hit him on the M5. So we're going to say that he paid about $70,000 for it. I have seen X6M sell for 70, 72. We have a record of one sold for 72. So we'll give him a win on that one, $2,000 win. Next, we're going to continue the win streak. We'll give him the Ferrari 812 Superfast. So from what we saw, it looks like it's going to be another win on the Ferrari Superfast. I'm not a huge Ferrari person. I don't know how rare these cars are. Never heard of a Superfast until I made this list, so maybe pretty rare. Ferrari Superfast, we're thinking about an 8% increase in value from what we saw in the sold market. So 312 base price to about 336. So the next Ferrari is going to be a 458 Italia. Sold data, current listings on the market. It looks like they're going for about 190. So
that's a hefty loss.
Pretty hefty loss.
Hefty loss.
I think so
he's
far.
Down like what, 55% on that?
37% on that.
Oh,
so
my bad.
You're
37.
Right, you're right there.
I was so close with my math, guys. Like
300 to 190. It's going to be about $110,000 loss on that second Ferrari. Second only to the loss from the Bugatti. 458 on the Bugatti, 110 on the Ferrari.
Yeah,
so
it happens. I mean, he's liquidating. The Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spider. God, he has a Lambo? Oh.
Only one.
Only loser.
Huracan Spider is listed at 293.
293, and it sells for
285.
285. That is a 15% loss. 3% loss.
3% loss.
Can't do any math. Maserati MC20, the list price was $212,000. Right now they're selling at market for $253,000. So that's a 41,000% increase. It's 19% up. Way to go, Tate. That's a win.
So next we have the Mercedes-Benz S-Class Coupe. This one is tuned by Brabus, so I believe they call this the Brabus 800 Coupe. They start out as a Mercedes-Benz S-Class. It's an S63 AMG or an AMG S63. This other company, Brabus, will take that car, upgraded exhaust, potentially bigger turbos, things like that.
They make it cooler.
They make it cooler. They make it faster. They slap their name on it.
Yeah, I will say, sorry, this will get me destroyed. Mercedes and BMWs are just lame. I don't know. They always strike me as lame. Maybe it's just me.
I do like the Brabus though, because the Brabus is the kind of car where you pull up and people who don't know don't know.
I don't know.
So decent car. Horrible investment. $95,000 loss on this guy. We got a list price of about $394,000, $299 on the secondary from what I'm seeing. Next we have the McLarens, plural. He's got a 720S, he's got a 765 LT and a 765 LT Spider. So Spider is a convertible. So
naturally.
Yeah, had to get the regular and the convertible. We had some losses here, some wins in the McLarens. 720S, don't know what year it is. Not a big McLaren guy myself, but from what we're seeing, about $305,000 retail. On the secondary, we saw McLaren 720Ss going for about $277,000. So overall, we're looking at about a $28,000 loss here on the 720. He is going to make up for that on the 765 LTs, both of them seem to have appreciated. I don't know, maybe this is a newer model. Maybe there's not a lot of them out there circulating in the secondary right now, but all of the list prices we saw, list prices, sold prices, were all much higher than what we saw from the MSRP side of things. So overall, 765 LT, we saw at about $350 for the list price, $479 on the secondary market right now. $129,000.
Damn, good for him.
Potentially. So even with the loss on the 720, still seems like he's up over 300 on the McLarens overall, all three of them. So we'll see how they handle that Tate tax at the end of this.
The Rolls-Royce Phantom, the list price is $465,000, and we found a sale price right now on market going around $378,000. If you had to liquidate, that would be an $87,000 loss. The Rolls-Royce Wraith Black Badge, its list price is $380,000, and we found it trading right now at around $259,000. So that's a $121,000 loss. Oh, sick. All right, Kyle, wrap us up with these Porsches, baby. I do like a Porsche. Porsche?
I don't know. I think
Comment below. Is it Porsche or Porsche? But spell it the same way, so we have no clue what your vote is.
yeah. First of all, we're gonna start out with the 911 GT2 RS. This is a sick car. Like this is by far my favorite car on the list. Still gonna be a bit of a loss here. 382 MSRP. Looks like they're selling in the low threes. So $327,000 on the secondary market. $55,000 of a hit on the GT2 RS. It's going to depend on mileage, things like that, but overall, definitely my favorite car, and if this was my collection, I think it'd be worth a hit. When I went to college, I had a professor who would daily drive one and park it in the student lot, which is insanity.
That means he gave zero fucks.
Zero fucks about this
You're
car.
parking a Porsche.
You have different money. If you park a GT2 RS in the student lot,
you give
different money.
You give no fucks.
Next we have the Porsche Carrera 4S. This is going to be on the lower end. Carrera 4S, you can pick one up in 120s. It's a Porsche, so spec it out. It could be 200 if you wanted to, but we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. We're going to say it's at 120, 122. Overall, we've been seeing late model 4Ss go in the 130s, so we're going to call it about a 131. So overall, slight gain on the Carrera 4S. All right, so last on the list we have Tech Art 911. This is going to be another situation that's similar to the Brabus, where a tuning company will take the 911 Turbo S, which is already a sick car.
Super
basically sick. Bigger turbos, better exhaust, tuning, and they're gonna up the horsepower by 190, 200 on a car that's already in the 4s, 5s.
So it's gonna be fast.
It's gonna be like stupid fast,
dumb fast,
like 2.5 to 6.
Like I legally would not be allowed to drive it.
No, I don't think so. I would not let you drive it.
I wouldn't let me drive it.
The Tech Art GT Street R. Is going to be the full name of this car. They go for about $316, $319. I don't think they made that many of these. From what I saw online, it seems like about 87. Being that rare, being a Porsche, I don't think this is going to lose much value. We have it about flat.
Objectively, it's a rarer car.
We have that at a $3,000 gain, and that about wraps up the list from what we were able to find.
So now let's total it, right? Like let's figure out what the gain or loss is, and also we have not added in the Tate tax.
No Tate tax yet. Overall total numbers here, we're looking at an MSRP total price of about $9.7 million worth of cars.
God.
$9.7 million in MSRP. Given the recent listings, recent solds, and the auction sites that we were able to see, it's looking like about $9 million flat for the overall value as of right now.
We'll put the real numbers on the screen. They probably already are.
Yeah, right here. There. Overall, it's looking like if you had to liquidate today, it's going to be about $693,000 in overall losses from these cars. So well over $500,000 in losses.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that that's like reasonable, but there's one component we haven't added, which is the Tate tax, which I think that we've been talking about, and we think this is a reasonable thing to factor in, and we will get destroyed in the comments for this. When celebrities or people of notoriety own something, depending on who they are and at what point in their career, the value of it may go up or down. For example, if you bought a Logan Paul Pokemon card and it was right when he was going into the boxing match, that card's going to be up in value. Like there would be a Logan tax that would be increased because he's so popular in the media. The Tate tax, we believe that there's going to be a lot of people that wouldn't want to touch a thing that Andrew Tate drove. So...
Right. And with these cars, it's not like they're... Honda Civics where you're going to see a million of them every day. If you see a Bugatti, you're going to notice that Bugatti. You're going to, it's not something that you see every day. People are going to know that that's the car that Andrew Tate used to drive. It's been all over the internet, all over his videos, extremely viral.
What do we think is a fair negative Tate tax based on the media and what's going on? We're taking the opinion simply that if you're getting arrested for human trafficking, whether it comes in positive or not, what do you put on that? What's the negative impact to a value? And I would say what? 20%? 30? I'd say minus 30%.
Yeah, because you have to think about it in terms of, like wholesale or dealers. Like they're going to get already a discount between what the market's willing to pay and what they're going to pick it up for. They need to make a profit too. So I think it's more than reasonable to say that these are going to go 30% under market value at least.
So do we do 40? 30? 30?
We can split the difference. Split the difference. We'll go 35.
35?
35 for the Tate tax. And
it's official. We're calling it right here. The Tate tax is 35%. So we're going to factor in a 35% loss on top of the basic math because we believe that's how untouchable these things are right now. Oof, so we were at a $693,000 loss, and that is pre-Tate tax.
So once we factor in the Tate tax, we're looking at a realistic sale value for the entire collection of about $5,000.
That's right. You can buy his whole car collection for $5,000. Stay away from the BMW and the Maybachs. I think they're lame. Go for the Lotto.
The Lotto. So overall, after the Tate tax, we're looking at about $5.9 million in overall value on these cars. Overall, that's going to bring the loss from about $693,000 down to over $1 million. Inclusive of the Tate tax, we're looking at about $1.39 million in loss from just the negative connotation around
the media with what's going on right now. But we challenge you. So right now, we have the math. You've seen the math. You understand the car calculations. We believe this car collection is going to go down in value by $1.3 million, closer to 1.4 if we round up. However, that is with us factoring in the Tate tax that we're guessing. But let us know what you, the viewers, think the Tate tax actually should be, and we'll fix it in a new video if you guys think it should be up or down. But yeah, comment below what you think an adequate Tate tax is.
Did we get something wrong? How much did you sell your McLaren for?
How much did you sell your McLaren for?
Like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you want to see next.
That's right.
I looked at the wrong camera. You.
Yeah, we're not. This. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing below and definitely like this video. We're new to YouTube, but we're gonna have some fun and do a lot of wacky things with cars. Get ready.